Hi, today we're going to be talking about peripheral neuropathy and some of the causes that may be leading to your neurological damage. So if we look at the top causes, we can see that diabetes is number one on the list. But it actually only accounts for about 30% of neuropathy cases. Most doctors jump on this and assume that because you're starting to have neurological symptoms of numbness, tingling, or burning, that there has to be some underlying blood sugar dysregulation and assume that you're diabetic. And if you're not, then they just chalk it up to that it's idiopathic. But there are many other causes that could be leading to your neurological damage. So as we look down the list, we can see that the second one is poor circulation. And this is extremely important, and one of the biggest factors that I see in my office is that if the underlying nerve cell is not getting oxygen, we're not going to be able to rehab it properly. It's like your brain not getting oxygen. So if your brain didn't get oxygen, you would not be watching this video today. So same thing happens when your nerve endings don't get oxygen. They're not going to work very well. And so circulation is extremely important and often very much overlooked. Now, if we look down further in the list, you could have toxic exposure. So that could be chemotherapy, it could be Agent Orange, it could be exposure to heavy metals. You could also be having issues at your spine. So let's say you had a disc herniation, or maybe we have spinal stenosis. That can often lead to neurological damage, and it's like cutting off flow to a garden hose. Same thing happens in the spine if we're not allowing those nerve endings as they exit the spine to work properly. As we look further down the list, we can see that we have post-surgical issues. You could have an autoimmune disease, and I see this a lot in my office as well. So if your immune system has actually tagged your nerves as being foreign, your immune system is going to destroy them. So I often see this in people who are under the age of 65 who are having neuropathy symptoms. This is a big, big cause. So if you already have an underlying autoimmune disease such as Hashimoto's, maybe you have lupus, maybe you have RA, that makes you more prone to having neurological autoimmunity. So if you already have that autoimmune disease, we want to check that out and make sure that this isn't the underlying cause to your neuropathy. You also could have an infection. So maybe you have a gut infection, or maybe you had a chronic or an acute infection that created the neurological damage in the first place. You may have abused alcohol, maybe you have liver disease, maybe kidney disease, or maybe you have a thyroid issue. There are thyroid receptors on every cell in your body, including your nerve cells. So if you're not getting optimal thyroid hormone to those cells, you could actually have neuropathy because of that. Last one is going to be medications. And a lot of medications, the side effect is neuropathy. And funny enough, often the medications that are prescribed for neuropathy, such as gabapentin, Lyrica, or Neurontin, one of the side effects is neuropathy. You're creating more neurological damage. Other drugs could be statins. That's a really big one. So cholesterol-lowering medications. As you can see from this list, there are multiple different reasons why somebody could be having neuropathy symptoms, and you can't just assume that it's blood sugar. And that if you're not doing the proper evaluations to figure out what's causing the neuropathy, you're not going to be able to fix it. Because if you're currently damaging your neurological cells, we're not going to be able to rehab them. You know, the reason you feel the symptoms in the first place is because the nerves are damaged. So getting a proper evaluation, figuring out exactly what's causing your neuropathy is extremely important. And that's why our evaluation is so crucial in your recovery to getting your neuropathy symptoms under control. So we'll be talking about some other factors on other videos, but I hope you guys learned a little bit about what the top causes to your neuropathy might be. Have a great day.